Hi guys, welcome back to the Wild Panda. I'm sorry I haven't been posting a lot lately. It's been a crazy October. My boyfriend and I just came back from a trip in Cancun, which I will be posting a review about later. But today I'm going to talk to you guys about the American Express Platinum card, the personal version, and giving you my review on it. So I actually got my Platinum card back in May, but I wasn't filming back then, so I didn't do an unboxing video, but I actually have had this card since May, and I figured now I would give you guys my 6-month review of the American Express Platinum card. Prior to applying for the American Express Platinum card, I was actually not an American Express customer, and I actually didn't have the patience to wait. But if you are a brand new American Express customer, as in if you've never had any American Express credit cards, you should actually wait for the card match tool to potentially match you with a 100,000 point welcome bonus that American Express sometimes targets people who don't have any of their products, and they will offer you that 100,000 point bonus for the Platinum card. I was never targeted for that 100,000 point bonus, so I settled for a 75,000 point welcome offer. I had some major projects going on back then, so that's why it was a good time for me to open it. And also, it really helped, the 75,000 points helped me book my plane tickets to Japan, which I was planning a trip for next April. Now, the American Express Platinum card comes with a pretty hefty annual fee of $550 the first year, which is charged to your first statement. That annual fee may scare people off, but the point guide values American Express membership rewards points at about 2 cents per point max. If you don't get good value, it could be 1.5 cents per point, but that's still about $1,000 in value. You know, even the 75,000 points that I got. Right now, if you go to the American Express website, like here, you can see that the public offer is 70,000 points right now if you are brand new to American Express. Even if you don't get the 70,000 point offer, the standard welcome bonus offer for the American Express Platinum is 60,000 points, which is still over $1,000 in value. So the American Express Platinum card, why would anyone pay for this card? This card, more than anything, is like a status symbol. The card itself weighs about 18 grams. See, you can see here, it's 0, but this card, see, it's 18 grams. The standard credit card or debit card, the plastic ones, they weigh about 6 grams. So this one card is about 3 times more heavy than a standard card. It's more for people who want to show off. So if you can afford the annual fee, this card definitely provides some serious flex value. But aside from all that, this card also has a ton of benefits, which is a good and a bad thing. Now, the benefits on this card, I'll start. There's no foreign transaction fees. You get 5 points per dollar for plane tickets booked directly with the airlines, 5 points per dollar with hotels if you book directly on the hotel website, and you also get 5 points per dollar on prepaid hotels booked through the American Express hotel travel portal. And then you get 1 point per dollar on every other purchase. So as you can see, you only get 5 points per dollar spent on hotel and airfare booked directly with the airline or the hotel, and 1 point for everything else. So this card is definitely not for gaining points. But the other benefits of this card include automatic Hilton Gold status, automatic Marriott Bonvoy Gold status. You get $15 of Uber credit every month, and in the month of December, you get $20 worth of Uber credits. It's important to note that the Uber credits don't roll over, so if you don't use it in 1 month, then you lose it. You also get a $50 Saks Fifth Avenue shopping credit every 6 months. That also doesn't roll over. So the first 6 months of the year, you'll get the $50 credit. And the last 6 months of the year, you also get the $50 credit. You also get $200 airline incidental credit. So with this $200 airline incidental fee credit, you have to designate one airline per year to use that credit with. The credit doesn't apply to the purchase of plane tickets, but it can be used for anything else like lounge access, if you want to buy lounge access passes. You can also use it for like taxes and fees, baggage fees, stuff like that. in-flight purchases. So prior to July of this year, 2019, you used to be able to get around that airline fee credit by purchasing gift cards directly through the airline, and American Express would actually refund you the purchase of that gift card and the fee. But now it no longer triggers that credit. So American Express has fixed that, and now you really can only use this $200 for airline incidental fees. With the American Express Platinum card, you also get access to American Centurion lounges at select airports. Now, there aren't too many at the major airports right now, but American Express is opening a ton of new ones, like in the Denver airport. So I was in Denver earlier this year, but I didn't get to go because the lounge hasn't opened yet, which was a shame because I was really excited to try it. But I have been to the American Express Centurion Lounge in Seattle and in New York, and they were both pretty great. It's definitely a plus to have access to the airport lounges. You also get Priority Pass Select Lounge access, and I should also mention that with the Centurion Lounge and the Priority Pass Select Lounge, you get to bring 2 guests with you in for free. So it's you plus 2 people. If there are more than 1 person traveling with you, you can bring them all into the lounge for free. So the American Express Platinum card will also provide you with TSA PreCheck or Global Entry for free. If you charge it to the card, they'll reimburse you the cost of the fee once every 4 years. And you get that fee for the primary cardholder, and your additional cardholders will also get that credit. Now, you can add up to 3 additional Platinum cardholders, and they'll get your Centurion Lounge access. They'll also get access to the American Express Fine Hotel and Resort and all the other benefits, but they won't get the $200 airline credit. For 3 additional users, it's $175, but you can also get additional gold card users for free, and that's up to 99 additional gold card users if you'd like. And each of those gold cards that you add on for authorized users, they each get their own TSA PreCheck and Global Entry credit. So if you want to be generous, or if you even want to share the love, you can add on additional members of your family or your friends as authorized users with the gold card, and then they can all get the TSA PreCheck or Global Entry for free. That's a ton of value given that Global Entry is $100 and TSA PreCheck is $85. American Express also has the most transfer partners for their points, such as Hilton, Marriott, Virgin Atlantic, Singapore Airlines, British Airways. So my overall impression of this American Express Platinum card is definitely well worth the value for the first year. Actually, I've gotten more value out of this card than I paid for the annual fee. When I signed up for this card, the gift cards were still triggering the airline credit, so I was able to get $200 worth of Southwest gift cards. That brings the effective annual fee for me down from $550 to $350. And then I also used up actually both of the Saks credits, so that's $50 twice, so that's $100, which brings the effective annual fee down to $250. Then I got my boyfriend Global Entry, that's $100, so that brings the effective annual fee down to $150. And then the Uber credits I've been using every month, so that's gonna bring it down also to about $100. But then you have to also take into account the 75,000 points that I got that I was able to transfer to Virgin Atlantic to book the first class tickets to Japan that I had done an earlier video on. That's worth, even at the minimum, if I were to pay out of pocket for business class tickets, it would cost a minimum of $5,000. So the amount of value that I got out of this card the first year far exceeded the annual fee that I paid for it. Overall, this card is definitely worth getting if you plan on doing any major traveling within the next year, or whenever you plan on doing the traveling. I would definitely say this card is a must-have. It is so valuable to be able to get into the airport lounges. So I will mention this in my next video about my trip to Cancun, but we were able to get into the Mirror Lounge in Cancun at the Cancun airport because our hotel will only shuttle us to the airport 3 hours before our flight. So that's a long time to wait in just the waiting area, which is just sitting around and you had to pay for food and everything. But with the American Express Platinum card, I was able to get into the Mira Business Lounge with my Priority Pass Select. And we were just chilling there in more comfortable couches, and we had free food, free drinks. So it was a lot better experience than to just wait around for 3 hours. That all being said, is it worth keeping for a second year after the first year? I'm gonna have to say right now, I'm not sure. I originally actually wasn't planning on keeping it after the second year, but the lounge access so far has actually been pretty great. It's not the most convenient. Like, for example, in New York, the lounge is located pre-security. So I find that strange because, you know, you don't know how long security is gonna take, and like, why would you want to be waiting and then risking missing your boarding or something, you know? And it's kind of far away from the security gate too, but it was actually like a really amazing lounge, so I would definitely go back anyway, but I wish they would put it in a more convenient location. I'm hoping the other lounges that they open up will be in more convenient locations as well, but the Seattle lounge was really crowded when I went, so that kind of soured my first Centurion lounge experience, because that was my first Centurion lounge experience. But I digress. American Express is also adding some travel benefits to this card. So before, you didn't get any travel protections when you booked plane tickets with this card, but starting January of next year, you'll actually get trip delay insurance and trip cancellation insurance with this card. So that definitely makes it worthwhile to use your American Express card to book plane tickets, because you get 5 points per dollar spent. So with the addition of that benefit, plus there's purchase protection, there's extended warranty, I think it's definitely worth looking into keeping this card for another year, just because I'm gonna have to pay the second annual fee anyway, and I'll still have an additional $200 airline incidental credit to use next year. As of right now, I'm gonna have to say I'll have to check back with you guys next year to see if I can get a retention offer from American Express. But overall, this card, aside from, you know, all flex value aside, this is an amazing card. The lounge access is great, especially if you live in a city with a airport that has a Centurion lounge, because you can actually get into the lounge 3 hours prior to your flight, and just the drinks and food alone are pretty great in all the Centurion lounges. And one last quick note, in terms of cash value and like point value and everything, this card is definitely worth it. As for the second year, not sure yet. It really depends on how much you value your time in the airport and like how often you travel. But my traveling is potentially winding down a bit for the next year, so we'll have to see about that. And that's all that I had for you guys today. So the American Express Platinum card, great credit card, definitely worth it the first year. Maybe the second year, we'll have to see. My next video, hopefully I don't get too bogged down with work, but like I said, just came back from Cancun, back to St. Louis, where it's like below freezing and it's terrible. I hope I will be able to get the next video out to you guys soon. I'm gonna be doing a review of the Hyatt Ziva in Cancun, which I was super excited to stay at, and it's an all-inclusive property. I'll be doing a review of that hotel and just about my experience in Cancun overall. So stay tuned, and thanks for watching, guys.